doing? How's your weekend?
Pretty great, man.
Yeah?
Great. I haven't been at work. Went to go see a band over the weekend.
Who'd you go see?
Ah.
I forget.
Went to go see a little band called Frank Carter and his Rattlesnakes.
Rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like proper heavy rock.
Well, you'd think that. So, this is the first time I've seen them for, I don't know, maybe like a year and a half, maybe 2 years at push. So I've been going now for I think about 5 years.
Yeah.
And the first kind of stuff they brought out really, really heavy.
Yeah.
And they've gone really like, I don't want to say poppy because I don't feel like it's
No.
that level, but it's very soft and.
I need to check out his stuff because honestly, for me, it was a problem though.
No, honestly, I would genuinely, if you like rock music and you like kind of like a bit of, I don't know, melody, but also a bit of
is there
something behind it?
Yeah, bit of power.
Yeah.
And is there still the same like? There was quite a bit of screamo stuff in there, wasn't there?
Nothing.
Back in the day.
Yeah, there used to be. Nothing now at all.
Does he not do it?
No, he can actually sing.
Oh, this
Well,
is mind blowing.
This was the thing. He could actually sing. This is Frank Carter. For those of you.
Frank Carter.
Yeah, so
hello, by the way.
He can actually sing.
Yeah.
But he just chose not to. We chose to do it whenever he fancied.
That's interesting.
But he can actually sing, and he's really, really good showman. Definitely like stage presence of he's got really, really good stage presence.
I always thought that about him. I think we saw him at Download.
Yeah, probably. I've seen him a few times. I've seen him in like 3 different incarnations.
Oh, there you go.
So obviously you saw him with Gallows.
With Gallows.
And Gallows is obviously
the belly of a shark.
Yeah, very, very heavy.
Yeah.
Then he was in this other band. They only did 1 album, but it was really good. A band called Pure Love. If you don't know, like, give it a listen.
What kind of... Is that a different genre?
Yeah.
What?
Indie, pop.
What?
Like, very sort of guitar heavy, but quite... I don't want to say soft rock, but
And
it's just kind of general rock.
General rock. Yeah. General rock.
General rock. But yeah. So, you know, if that's your cup of tea, I think if you like Pure Love, then you will like the new stuff that Frank Carter's putting out.
Awesome.
And for me personally, when I went, I was
you were hoping for Gallows.
Yeah, I was hoping for them to play more of their old stuff.
Yeah.
I think they've got 3 or 4 albums out now.
Okay.
And they played mostly newer stuff, so most of the stuff was quite softer, you know, a bit more kind of like alternative
indie kind of thing.
Yeah. As opposed to their, you know, proper.
Yeah. Do you think Frank is the one writing all of the music for all these bands? Do you think he's the constant throughout all of this?
I'm not sure. I'd imagine so. I feel like Pure Love was definitely like a project that he wanted to do because he was with Gallows. They were very heavy, very hardcore. Yeah. And then he went the complete opposite direction.
Oh, I see.
But he took some time out of music, I think, for a while. And I think he was a tattoo artist.
Oh, really?
So now he's like decked out in tattoos.
I love this guy. He's prolific though. This is the thing. Like, you're gonna need a break if you're that prolific.
But I think the biggest thing that got me was like the size of the venue. You ever been to Alexandra Palace before?
Yeah, Ali Pali, yeah.
Never been to Ali Pali before.
It's quite small, isn't it?
Small? Nah, mate, it was huge.
How many people?
Oh, I was looking up and I think it's about 10,000.
Jesus. Okay, it's not
massive.
Small. That's amazing.
It's huge, and I was really surprised that, you know, when you're at a gig you always look around and sort of see who's there. I was really surprised, like there's a lot of like just normal looking people. Like I know
being not having a punk hairdo, not having tattoos.
Yeah, no tattoos, no punk hairdo.
Or wearing like studded belts or something.
Just a lot of like, you know, kind of hipster clothes. And I'm just like, okay, it's not what I expected.
Yeah.
And then like Metallica t-shirt. Like, what? What's
of course on? You are.
And then I'm just watching them and I'm like, oh, okay, they've gone a lot less heavy.
This is why suddenly the coin drops. It was like, oh, this is why.
But they're very, very respectful.
Yeah.
They stopped the gig right towards the end for about. For me, it felt like an eternity, but it was probably about 5 minutes. Maybe
Why?
10 at max.
What did they do?
Because they noticed that someone in the crowd had fallen or fainted or something. There was a problem in the crowd. Yeah. They stopped the whole show and they were like, "Can we get some medics like right here?" And then they're checking up on other people in the audience, like actively like looking out people in the audience, like just checking on people.
It's not
It's just
exactly a Rage Against the Machine gig in the
No.
90s, is it? It's not
But then-
exactly rock and roll,
Yeah,
but
exactly. And that's kind of the thing that got me. I was just
I
like,
thought you'd be
dude,
annoyed.
when this guy was in galas and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I'm sure he used to start fights with people in
Yeah.
the crowd,
This is
like
it.
actively have punch ups. So it's just a bit like, dude, you've changed.
Yeah. It's not
Oh,
exactly
he's-
Kurt Cobain jumping off the stage in order to fight someone, is it? It's like,
Yeah.
there was a time when things were done so differently.
I was just like, wow. I was like, even, political correctness has even gotten into rock music. That was kind of my thought about it.
But it was a good gig,
It
all
was
in all.
alright,
No, it didn't blow you away, clearly.
Yeah, no.
So I am going to see a gig tomorrow as well.
Okay.
I'm going to see Cage the Elephant. Have you ever heard of Cage the
Yeah,
Elephant?
I heard. What's that one big one?
Oh, they did
That one massive one.
Ain't No Rest for the Wicked.
Yeah.
Money don't grow on trees.
Yeah. that
Got
one.
bills to
Yeah,
pay,
that one.
got mouths to feed. And so I'm going up to see them in Birmingham. I'm really looking forward to it.
You're going all the way to Birmingham for them.
I am indeed, yeah. Flo's
not
up at
going
uni
anywhere.
in Birmingham,
They're
so.
not going anywhere.
They were, but honestly, like, I don't mind getting out of here for every now and again, you know.
Fair enough. Did you go see? I know Blossoms did a show last week in Kingston. Like
Yes,
one of the
yeah.
album release things. Did you go?
I didn't know.
No.
I was tempted because that's kind of like 80s upbeat. I quite like Blossoms, but no. Do you know what? I had heard one of their new album, and sometimes when you listen to a track and it's too literal to like.
How do you mean?
There was a verse in it. It said something like, "She's left me now, and now she wants to do couples therapy," and at that point I was like, I can
You
no
felt
longer enjoy this. I don't know what it was about him saying, yeah, now we're taking couples therapy. I was like, I think there's no poeticism in this.
Yeah, maybe it's just literally
It was so
writing
weird.
an autobiographical song.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the story of a breakup, I guess, but maybe have a metaphor every now and again,
Yeah.
please.
I think it's much better when you've got to try and like pick apart a metaphor.
Yeah, exactly. Just make me think a little bit. Don't just say exactly what it was. Anyway, so I'm not excited for their new stuff, really. But they are very good and upbeat, and I like the production quality. But in other news, did you hear Tame Impala's new album, which I've been ranting about for ages? By the way, we're in a different setting, aren't we? This is
Ranting.
this is my house. Finally, Nathan has had a chance to come and see my place.
I've never been.
Never been
Sure
here
about
before. Lovely curtains.
No, I've not heard it.
So Tame Impala, I was telling you about them. They have like a psych rock feel.
Mm-hmm.
So they've done 3 albums before this, and this has been a long builder to this one. So it's been like 4 or 5 years. This one, I think I did mention in like maybe episode 7. It feels like it's uninspired.
Go back and listen.
Have a quick check back. Go and see our other content. Thank you. Please subscribe. So,
Loving that.
thanks. So, Tame Impala, they felt like they were uninspired. They released a couple of other tracks. And I was kind of thinking, he was saying something like, yeah, I've just been struggling to perfect this. That's the way he put it. And this is a guy called Kevin Parker from Australia in Perth. And he writes, plays, and produces everything you hear, and it's not easy music. It's like there are so many layers to it.
There's a lot to it.
And you can understand that it might take a long time, but at the same time, with this one, I did think it sung out to me, and hearing him in interviews, maybe he has struggled with this one. So it's finally dropped. It came out, I think, on Valentine's Day.
What a day to do it.
And it's as I thought, I think, honestly. It's completely... it's kind of saying goodbye to genre in a sense. It's kind of just like this weird flowing... You could say almost like a masterpiece because it's so different to anything you've heard. But at the same time, none of it like sticks out as catchy. None of it's like... It's all quite stylized. None of it's very melodically pleasing, right? So there's no like hooks that make you go, I'm going to listen to this.
Offbeat stuff.
It's not even offbeat. It's getting a little weird, but in a 4/4 bars shape. Like it's all in a very typical fashion. The one thing for me is that I always have been a fan of his drumming, So I've always been there, like, just playing along to it in a sense, because you can hear how much work goes into every bar within this album. However, even though he's put so much effort into it, you can almost hear that he's overthought it, I think. Like, there's this song called Posthumous Forgiveness, that's what it's called. And it's all about, like, having, like, a fallout with his dad back in the day. And then his dad sadly passed away, like, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so he's obviously asking for
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, it's almost a beautiful song, but at the same time, there's a lot of, like, there's this one that literally, it goes, da 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 da, da 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 da.
Sounds like EastEnders.
No, it doesn't.
Oh no, what's the other one? Coronation Street?
Do 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 do.
Just the way you're doing it.
doing. But I think he's trying very hard to stay within the bars of, like, this has to be catchy. This has to be a festival lineup type of sound, type of gig that people want to sing along to, and also trying to write down everything that he wants to and all his thoughts and get so much out there. There's a lot of him pondering, like, about time passing. So there might be time. It Might Be Time, sorry.
Yeah.
Is the one he first released from it, and it was saying, has it been that long? Has it been that long since? I think he's means since the last album. Like, how has it been so long? He's got married since then. He's, like, moved to Los Angeles. He's still got his house in Perth. I think it was all produced between those two.
Right,
And
it's pretty big stuff in this.
It's a good album. It's just nothing. I think it will kind of, a lot of people will dislike this because it's kind of just too passive listening. You can't really get your teeth into it.
So there's nothing that really sticks out that's kind of like...
No, there's not. That's the thing. In the last one, they had The Less I Know The Better, which was this, like, great big bass song, and it had such a punchy bass riff that you couldn't help but get into instantly. And that's almost what he made a name for, actually. Like, he worked with Kanye, Rihanna. Rihanna did, like, a really almost exact version of this kind of, like, B-side track on the third album.
Right, okay.
Almost just as a homage to him. Like, this guy is this good at producing and songwriting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he might have missed the mark on this. I think they're going to go down in the world, considering they headlined Coachella last year.
Right, okay.
So
Coachella's a really, really big one as well.
Big old festival, yeah. So little bit disappointed. I'm obviously still contented with the drumming, but yeah, that's my review. I think didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah.
Sadly, unlucky Kevin Parker. I know. However, Hayley Williams has released the rest of the EP.
Yeah.
I really like it. I'm honestly so excited to see what else you
can.
could. So we're going for, I think there's 6 songs now.
Okay.
Every one of them, you can hear that. Yes, it is that kind of. I think we're going to see more of it. That kind of Billie Eilish style production. But
too much production.
It does sound sometimes like that, particularly with Billie Eilish. But with Hayley Williams, she's obviously clearly taken, like, almost like this absolute artistic sense. So I do not care if this isn't, like, between the lines of what's going to be mainstream. With Sinner, you could hear that, right? There was a lot of kind of... There's even this one called Cinnamon. And the beat is so off, and it must be so difficult to drum. Because it's kind of like, it's making sure it stays off, even when it's getting catchy. Yeah. And she's kind of mastered this kind of, like, even in the choruses, it can be very, very catchy.
Kind of, so it still wants to be catchy, but she wants to be different.
I would not put it far off of, like, Radiohead artistically. I think it's almost like trying to be weird, but it's also able to grip you, and you want to hear what she's saying. Some of the lyrics are really, really dark, which I think gives it like a sort of extra depth.
Well, there was a really, really dark verse in that first song, wasn't there?
Yeah, I would rather gut that man than it's like defensive about a child or something.
Something about a child as well. Like if she was a mother, it's
check it out. Honestly, 6 really good tracks on there. What else do I have? Okay, and the other thing was I saw a couple of amazing YouTube videos. Have you done any good YouTubing lately?
YouTube
YouTube? You would hate YouTube.
no, I'm not really a massive. You know, when you get like stuck in a, what do they call it?
Like a YouTube journey.
I don't get stuck in YouTube. I just kind of go what I'm on there for.
Yeah.
Watch a trailer or watch a.
I can tell that's you. Yeah.
Go on there, and then if there's something else that pops up, maybe I might watch something. But I kind of try to steer clear.
Oh, Billie Eilish released her.
How's that? Is it good?
James Bond theme. It's really good. Yeah, it's like they've managed to produce a Billie Eilish song where she doesn't just sound like she's whispering the whole time. She does build into it, but it's also got that kind of very similar notation as Adele did the right. No, that was Skyfall. She did the Skyfall. It's got a very similar atmosphere to that. I can see why they wanted Billie Eilish for it. It makes sense. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Apparently, she knocked everyone away with the Brits performance of it. So, and also, have you heard about this Dave performance of the Brits?
Dave.
Just Dave.
Just Dave.
He's a rapper that
Just Dave.
He kind of bounced onto the scene at Glastonbury last year, and he's so quick and so politically evolving almost. So he said something like Boris Johnson's a racist on this Brit performance.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
Now you've heard of it, yeah. So this is it. He is getting a lot of stick, but at the same time, he's getting so much respect for just putting his neck out there.
We're getting a lot of sort of attention for that, for saying those kinds of things.
Yeah, definitely. Apparently, Stormzy as well brought out so many, like a star-studded stage of people.
Yeah.
And it kind of blows my mind that Stormzy now has that kind of, he's that appealing to the gods of music almost, that he can do that nowadays.
Dude, he's headlining Reading.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Along with Liam Gallagher.
I'm not a fan of this.
And that was the last thing, Rage Against the Machine. I could not believe that lineup.
Yeah, that's really, really good, but Stormzy and Liam, and then I looked down the rest of the lineup on the main stage for the rest of the weekend. I could probably tell you about who 3 of the bands are.
I've never seen a worse lineup.
I've never heard of most of them.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Usually I'll kind of look at it, I'll be like, oh, don't really like them, them. They're a bit rubbish. The Cortinas, I know who the
Cortinas are in there, yeah. There was like very few saving graces for it. I don't think I've seen a worse lineup, especially for Reading, because we've always been to Reading. So Reading, buck your ideas up. Also, made me kind of question where we stand with music in general, seeing that lineup. Like, is that really what it's come to? Where we've got the guy that used to be in Oasis, Stormzy, and then a band that we brought back from the dead.
I kind of feel like the Rage Against the Machine's pretty good. Like, it's a pretty good shout. They're doing a massive.
I would love to see them on their own.
Yeah, they're doing a massive tour now, which is really good. But at the same time, I'm just kind of thinking like, I swear Reading used to be a rock festival.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of.
Oh, but dude, that's not a thing anymore. You don't really have that much anymore.
Yeah, but they're basically going really, really Glastonbury with it. Just kind of, we'll just have everyone play because everyone will come here.
Yeah.
And you can't say that. Download's a rock festival. You wouldn't catch Stormzy at Download.
No chance.
You wouldn't catch Liam Gallagher.
They're still, don't get me wrong, but that's what they're just going with the trend that we've been saying for the whole time with these podcasts. Is
everything's getting very sort of muddled, and there's no.
Well, there's never any kind of differentiating values, as if like the music industry has said, we don't want you to make that kind of heavy music. I don't know if
I think it's more
the demand.
I don't know. I think it's more the case of if we try and be as. If we try to be less inclusive, then we're going to get more money.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Because people that like kind of rock music, but maybe they don't like metal music, they'll go to Reading. People that really like rap and grime and R&B and all that crap that's in the top 40s, they'll also now want to go to Reading because of that lineup.
I see. It's a sad death, I think.
Not for me anymore. Bring back like, when did we go? Like probably
2009. Yeah, 2009 was incredible.
Ago, honestly.
Yeah, sad one, that one. And the other thing I saw on YouTube was it really got me inspired to songwrite, which was watching. I'll link this, guys, but it's Paul Simon going through how he wrote Bridge Over Troubled Waters, and then there's a couple of other ones which are literally him sit on the Dick Cavett show, which is like the original James Corden almost,
Yeah.
and he's literally got his guitar and he's showing you like how he came up with this, how he thought through the different styles he was going to go through, the different scales, and he goes sort of like, and now I'm going to try and introduce a different chord, and that will be very, very refreshing to the ear. And it's like, it's just so inspiring.
Sounds spooky.
Yeah. It was really good. Anyway, so I'll drop them off into the bio. But we wanted to review something today, guys, which was... I don't know if they'll have this around the world.
The Stranger.
The Stranger.
On Netflix.
Yes. So, we both watched it. It's one of those...
I told him to watch it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He gave me the deets, but I binged this. This was what you said about it last week. You were just racing through it, and it is like a book you can't put down, isn't it? It really is.
It's one of those things where like you'll finish an episode, and it leaves you with enough threads dangling to kind of be like, well, I have to watch the next one now.
Yeah,
I just have to. I think it's written by some guy. He does very similar works. They just kind of adapted it for the show.
Yeah.
But
it was originally a book.
yeah, it was originally a book.
That's
and the guy's also done similar stuff that has also been adapted by Netflix.
I see.
There's also another series on there called Safe. And that
I've
came
heard
out.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that came out I think maybe last year or the year before, something like that.
Okay.
And to my understanding, it didn't really have too many views and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
And now that they've adapted another one of
Yeah,
these books,
yeah, and it's been successful.
It's been really successful.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, if you like The Stranger, you should really go back out and check Safe. So I'm now watching Safe because of The Stranger, and I can definitely tell story-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty similar with what I said about the dangling threads.
I see. Okay, I now want to watch that.
Yeah, do it.
So this is it's like a crime drama, right?
Crime drama.
Detective
thriller.
Yeah,
everything.
One of those. So, how can we even break it down, the storyline, really?
So it begins with some man.
It begins with the stranger.
Yeah, well, it begins. So you begin with the main character.
Mm-hmm.
He's quite big.
English
TV series wise.
Oh, what's his blooming name? I keep forgetting his name, but he is in. You'll recognise him as the dwarf from The Hobbit, who was the main guy.
Which also, and he's also done.
He was in Spooks as well.
Yeah, we checked it. Done Spooks. He'd done a few.
Another BBC
English,
drama.
Yeah, English sort of BBC and ITV. Sort of crime detective things.
Yeah.
So it starts with him. You meet him, his family. He goes off to a football tournament.
Perfect family.
Yeah, he gets.
Seemingly.
Yeah, exactly. That's they obviously try and make that out straight away.
Yeah.
And then he gets collared in a bar by this stranger in a baseball cap.
The stranger.
Yeah, and she's all like, "Hey, do you want to know this really cool thing?" And then she pretty much just screws his whole entire life.
Proceeds to ruin everything. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think and then her, you later find out in the series that she believes that if you tell a lie, then if you tell a secret, then you get rid of the secret or something like that. I can't really remember what she says now.
I'm trying to remember the line, but she basically doesn't think that anybody having a secret from anybody else is beneficial. So therefore she just goes around like a vigilante going, I'm going to tell you the exact truth. Like every marriage is kind of based on like a little bit of like, I'm actually going to hide that from you. So she's literally like going throughout the series. There's only 8 episodes. It's a BBC drama. And she goes through the 8 episodes just tearing people's lives apart because she wants to kind of release the truth. What's amazing about it, though, is the way the characters are all linked to each other.
Yeah,
and that's slowly revealed, isn't it?
That was my favourite thing to try and... You've got probably about... I don't know, how many would you say? 10 to 15? Sort of like
about 10.
Major characters.
Yeah.
And to try and figure out how all of them are linked together. Some of them you'll spot early on why they're linked together. Some of them might take you a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Some of them you won't find out until it actually happens right before you're right.
This is it. Some of them you could not have guessed.
Yeah, definitely. But I really like this. I like the fact that, like I say, it's typical sort of Netflix fodder that you'll be left with these dangling carrots at the end of an episode.
Yes.
Kind of like, am I going to find out next week? Probably not.
It was the same with. Do you know what I've noticed with Netflix? They have a certain style with their opening credits as well.
Oh,
It's so
don't
Games
like
of
it.
Thrones
I
almost
literally, as soon as I can skip intro, I will
Yeah,
go.
every time for sure,
so
because it literally
annoying.
is just like some slow motion close up features that you can't really make
I watched,
out.
Yeah, that one had a really annoying one. And also,
Yeah.
did you ever watch that Aaron Hernandez documentary thing
No, I
about
don't.
that NFL player?
No.
That as well had some really annoying intro thing. I was just like, come on, can we
Get to the
past
cut
this?
to the chase. Yeah, this is
Why
it.
do you even bother?
Yeah.
The thing that gets me is why have you got that option for the skip intro
No.
if you're going to bother to put as much time and effort
They
into
do
making
make a
these
lot of
intros?
effort, but it's
They make a lot
always
of
like,
effort, but everyone, you've got that option on there
yeah.
by Netflix to skip intro. Why?
Why bother? I agree. But with this series, I think it was very original in a sense because it wasn't like any other British dramas I'd seen, or any like you could maybe like harken it to like an Agatha Christie book or something or a Poirot, but it
Kind of
wasn't.
like
It didn't have
whodunit-
that feel.
A whodunit type thing.
Do you know what it did feel? It felt very present day, very much the time of the era.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of kind of like, especially now at the moment, you know, with politics and with the media and everything else,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, oh, who's keeping secrets, who's doing this, who's doing that.
Yeah,
So definitely the story of it
that's it.
was kind of like, okay, fair enough.
That's the sort of like, can we track them on a phone? I think the best thing about this series is it is perfect for any age group. There is something in there for everyone. You've got so let's break it down. So you've got the family, the nuclear family doing wonderfully together, we think, at the beginning. Then we've got his dad, who is a sort of entrepreneur, kind of CEO of a what do you call it? A housing.
Housing firm or something.
Housing
like
firm,
that.
something like that.
Association, something like that.
Then you've got the old guy who is in a house that guy wants to knock down.
Yeah, and you feel so sorry for
You
him.
do.
He's an ex-policeman. and
Ex-policeman,
everything like
Irish guy. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that. And then you've got the police. The police detective lady,
The police woman.
and she's obviously having family troubles at home with her
See,
husband.
that's the thing as well. You immediately are kind of encouraged to like all these characters because you get like an inkling of their backstory. And I think they did that perfectly. Like we were saying in 1917, if we had just heard a bit more about them at the beginning, that would have been amazing just to connect you with them.
Yeah.
So even with a police officer, unlike with Poirot or something like that, where it's just a detective, you're kind of there already thinking, I hope you're all right.
Yeah. I think my biggest kind of letdown one was, so as I mentioned, the female detective, her best friend she owns a bakery.
Yep.
She is
Jennifer Saunders.
Yeah, she's met by the stranger
Yeah.
to reveal a secret.
Mhm.
She thinks it's about her husband. It's actually about her daughter. She goes to confront the daughter, and then she goes back to her bakery.
Uh-huh.
And spoiler alert, she gets
She
done.
gets kneecap. It's the most brutal part of the entire thing is watching Jennifer Saunders, the most lovely person, get shot in the knee and then in the head. Brutal.
My thoughts would be by this.
Yeah.
So her death originally, I was like, why have they killed her off so early? Because they kind of, especially in the trailer and in the first kind of in the first episode and a bit that she's in,
Yeah.
they kind of really address her as being quite a big thing, a big sort of
Richard
lead
Armitage,
character.
by the way, that was the lead character.
Richard
Just remember.
Armitage, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
So with her, I was kind of like, oh, she's obviously going to be a big part in this.
Yeah.
And she gets killed off in, I think, the second episode or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Maybe it's something to do with paycheck? Because
Yeah.
she's, out of all of them, I'd definitely say she's probably got the biggest.
Well, she's a business owner, so I assume so.
No. I mean, as in actress-wise.
Oh, I get you. She's got the biggest name, of course.
She's the biggest name.
She would pull in most people. Yeah, I agree.
So
I
maybe
agree.
they're like, oh well, we need someone to get killed off.
We'll pay her a lot.
Who should we go
for
with?
a couple of episodes.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
go for
that's
that.
it. That's it. So there's also so the best friend of the policewoman. Then there's another policeman who is maybe slightly dodgy.
Oh, he's definitely. You can tell.
Oh,
he's dodgy.
yeah, I know. Like the growling voice almost,
Never
and the
ever trust that
balding
geezer.
haircut with the horrible yellow beard. Oh, he's a weird looking chap. And then you've got
He looks so dishevelled all the time.
so dishevelled.
I look at him and I'm just like, how are any of these coppers like
Trusting you with anything. It's terrible, isn't it? You do think that immediately. And then you've got the whole party scene, which is all the school students. So the kids of Richard Armitage are involved in some weird happenings, including a beheaded llama. Beheaded alpaca, that was it.
Yeah.
And so there's like this rave outside of the town, and this is where we're like first brought into the storyline, where you've got some kid running naked through the woods, and you're thinking, what's going on? And it turns out that okay, I'm gonna cut to the chase here.
So in the first episode, you're basically greeted by an alpaca's
Beheaded alpaca.
Been kidnapped.
Yeah.
Can you say kidnapped?
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, the alpaca's been taken and it's been beheaded, and then this boy is in hospital. He's in a coma. You see him running naked through the woods, and then he's in a coma the next day.
Yeah.
And then kind of all the stories go from there.
This is it, and it's so immediately. Even if you're a kid, you're gripped. I think that's the main thing. Like, no matter where you are in life, you'll be there. Like, wait, what? So cut to the chase. In the last episode, I thought, what did you think of the ending? I thought it felt very rushed.
Yeah, I was going to say it was quite rushed, but then I don't know whether it was meant to be like that because it's kind of building up to.
It does build up to it a lot, but at the same time, I thought it could have done with a couple of extra episodes just to wrap everything up. Do you know what really pissed me off was the fact that the girl that had spiked that guy's spliff with PCP, like a deadly substance, and therefore he's gone and killed an alpaca, it turns out. And then you've got the fact that she also nicked that guy's clothes. Like, a lot of it was to do with her. And then at the end, she's happily in a couple with the son of Richard Armitage.
Yeah, fair play.
I was like, wait, so, she just gets away with everything.
Yeah, bro.
And you start.
She's just.
The other thing is, so Richard Armitage at the end of this finds out who's been like playing him, which turns out to be his best friend and neighbour, and he goes and just shoots him. Like, it's one of those moments where you're like, what's going to happen here? You can't shoot him because then he'll go to prison. And he just shoots him, and the detective comes along and goes, it's alright, we'll just get rid of the gun.
Yeah.
And none of that made sense, because if she brought it back to the house, that wouldn't have worked as a storyline, because she was with him, you know what I mean?
I literally just thought, I was just like, I see what you mean about it being rushed. I was just kind of like, well...
We had to break it down and go, this, like, actually, would that work? Them stood there next to the football pitch and they're both, like, happy as Larry. That was lucky we got off with that, wasn't it? So this is the husband and the policewoman both stood there at the end going, well, it's all right, we'll live with it, or something like that. You're like, that wouldn't have worked.
We
got away with it. So anyway, we're going to have to wrap up, I'm afraid, guys, because it's a very quick one today.
But yeah, definitely check out The Stranger. And
please check it out.
Check out Safe.
Safe as well. And we'll find out who the writer was and I'll post it. Anyway, cool. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And we will see you next week.
Oh yeah.
On another episode of Colour Me Intrigued. Bye.